What's up, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Money. I had a dilemma when I was going to title this video about if I was going to put it like the circulating supply of Dogelon Mars is perhaps wrong, is maybe wrong, or something like that. And then I was just like, no, I'm just going to come out and say it, that the circulating supply of Elon Mars is incorrect. It's incorrect on every website, every exchange, and it's something that I had been thinking about since I first got going on this token. And I've had a couple of comments in other YouTube videos that I've made about Elon Mars that kind of reinforced this and really made me want to bring this up in a video, because this is very similar to the situation that we had with the Shiba Inu token. And I think that a lot of you guys probably are either familiar with that or came over here from the Shiba Inu token. And so I wanted to get into this and make my opinion on this and what I think is probably going to happen with the circulating supply in the future. When this coin was first minted, this token was first minted, they made a quadrillion of them, which is it's exactly the same as the Shiba Inu token. What they did is, again, exactly the same as the Shiba Inu token. They locked 50% in a Uniswap liquidity pool, and then they donated 50% to Methuselah Foundation, probably as a publicity type of deal, so that they could get a little bit of headline with that donation. Now, what Methuselah did with the Shiba Inu tokens is he burned 40% right away. That is gone. And then he donated 10% of his remaining 10% to COVID relief in India. They were getting just beat up by the first strains of the Delta variant that had came out with COVID-19. Delta variant, they just got hammered over there. So he donated that to them, and then, like I said, he burned the first 40%. On this one though, on Dogelon Mars, he donated his 50% completely to charity. So there has been no burning whatsoever as far as I know, and it's very hard to find any documentation on any of this. The Dogelon Mars, as I put out in another video, has no white paper, has very little documentation whatsoever, so you kind of got to piece together things from websites, from Twitter, from Reddit, and it's not a great way to get information about your token. But from what I've read, the Methuselah Foundation holds 43% of the Dogelon Mars tokens, and that is where I think that we are going to run into a problem. Because if you guys came here from SHIB, or you're familiar with SHIB and its history, it was originally listed on all of these same websites, these same exchanges, everything, as having about 395 trillion tokens in circulation. And I was scratching my head with that, because I was like, well, it has to be at least half a trillion or 500 trillion tokens, because they locked 50% of it in a liquidity pool and only gave 50% to Methuselah Foundation. And I would love to know what video I did it in, but it was just kind of an off the cuff comment that I made. I was like, I think it's probably north of 500 trillion tokens that we have outstanding here. And when the Shiba Inu token did a massive run up and it went up to 4088, people thought we were going to drop another zero. According to the exchanges, there was a glitch, they were overwhelmed, there was some sort of a problem, and basically everyone was locked out of trading. So when it came back online, you could trade again. Everyone noticed that the circulating supply had been updated to about 550 trillion tokens, and there was a lot of outrage on that, well-deserved outrage on that, because they had diluted essentially the circulating supply by I want to say 30%. I didn't do the math prior to doing this video, but it was quite a bit of dilution of the circulating supply. But I was thinking that the entire time, and I really never made a video on it, and other than a comment that I made on it. So when you look at the circulating supply of the Dogelon Mars token, there should be 1 quadrillion in the circulating supply, because as far as I know, other than maybe some minor burns that individuals have done, or maybe there's some burning mechanisms that I'm not familiar with that haven't burned a ton of them, there should be about 1 quadrillion in circulation. Now, I went into like coinmarketcap.com's website and looked at what their definition of coins in circulation are, and there is some stuff that says that this is what's out there, like the free float on a stock, and that privately owned or project owned tokens don't necessarily count towards the circulating supply. But I just think that that's disingenuous, and that's just an opinion that is made by these folks, because the amount that's out there, it hasn't been burned. It can be sold. It can come on the market at any time. And if you would get all 1 quadrillion tokens on the market, or even if you would get, you know, another 100 trillion that would come on the market from a sale or something like that, you were looking at almost 20% dilution of the 550 trillion tokens that are on the market right now. When you look at who holds the majority of the tokens outstanding, as far as I can tell, it's the Methuselah Foundation. Now they have said that they are going to be good stewards of this token, and people say, well, they're not going to pull the rug, they're not going to do whatever, and that may be the case. And I don't have any insider information on these folks. Other than doing a brief read on what they do as far as space travel and lengthening the lives of human beings, and talking about being able to grow organs in space, things of that nature. I don't really know exactly what it is that they do, and I don't know that they wouldn't, what they would or wouldn't do with this. All I know is that they are a foundation that has goals, and those goals, I'm sure, are the most important thing to them, is these research and development goals. And what they ended up getting with this token donation was a ton of money in order to fund their research projects. Now, when they first got them, it probably wasn't worth a lot of money. I mean, it's probably still millions and millions of dollars worth of money. But over time, when Dogelon Mars reached its last all-time high, I believe it was 502285 or 2258, something like that. That amount of money was worth $1.1 billion. If they have 430 trillion tokens outstanding, that money is worth $1.1 billion. As the time has gone by, that money has eroded away as the crypto market has pulled back, and it is now, right to today, worth about $473 million at a price of about 501101. And so when you are a foundation that is doing research that they're passionate about, that amount, more than halving your endowment essentially is a big deal, because that really affects the things that you can do. And if this were to go down by another 50%, they'd be looking at a tremendous loss from where they were at their $1.1 billion mark when this ran up, when Dogelon Mars was listed on crypto.com. So although they say that they're going to be good stewards of the money, of the coin, or whatever, there has to be someone in the background saying, listen, if we would just cash these out, this $1.1 billion, and we could put that in a bond fund that makes 5%, you would get what, 50 million a year? You would have essentially $50 million for essentially ever. You could put this in a total stock market fund where you would make, average of 10%, and you'd have $110 million essentially funding forever without touching the initial investment that you made on that. And so that is something to think about for you guys out there, as far as what the real circulating supply is versus what the opinion of places like coinmarketcap.com are of what the circulating supply is, because these tokens, these original 50% that were donated to Vitalik, they are not burned. They could come back into circulation any time. And guys, I always have to say this, that anything I say is not a indication to buy, sell, or hold a crypto stock or investment or anything like that. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor at all. This is just my opinions. But I think that is a risk to the coin, because if you think about what the dilution of almost 50% would do to the price of this token, that's just something to consider when you're investing in this. At the end of the day, this is why I don't put a ton of money into these smaller crypto projects. I don't put a ton of money into crypto at all. I invest the majority of my money into stocks and real estate, because those are regulated. Those are very stable investments. They have a long history of doing well, and it's this type of stuff where it's essentially someone's opinion on circulating supply, and it can change, and we have seen it change with the Shiba Inu token at a moment's notice. Right when we were reaching all-time highs, things were going up, all of a sudden everything crashed, and the circulating supply all of a sudden changed by 200 some trillion tokens. The same thing could absolutely happen here if the Methuselah Foundation decides that it wants to sell a lot of its tokens, or even if they sold 25%, that's 100 trillion tokens coming on the market. That's it's about a 15 to 20% dilution somewhere in there. It's something to think about, and it's in my opinion that the circulating supply that's indicated for this token is incorrect. So guys, that's what I have to say today about Dogelon Mars, circulating supply of that. If you guys like this, be sure to give me a big thumbs up in the YouTube algorithm. That helps this video go forward, helps keep this channel alive. If you haven't been here before, if this is your first time, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I talk about all things cryptocurrency, stocks, real estate, financial freedom, and just getting yourself out of the rat race. I appreciate you guys watching today. I'll see you in the next one.